Hey y'all, it's Callie and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing some contemporary slash romancy recommendations. This was a requested video, so if you have other requests, please let me know down below because I will for sure see if I can do those for you guys. So I'm going to be mentioning 8 new contemporaries, new being ones that I thought people either didn't talk about a lot or that I haven't seen a lot of, or that are lesser known by some of the popular authors. A lot of these, I liked a lot of the authors' books, but I just chose one from each author just to make sure to pare it down and give you guys a lot of recommendations. This is in no particular order of what I like the most or least. I just kind of felt like putting them in alphabetical order, so that's that. So the first recommendation is The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. This one came out a few years ago and it's sort of a companion to Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, and it follows the cousin of a character from Simon. This takes place in DC and it follows a girl who is a twin. Her twin sister is in the LGBTQ community as well as her 2 moms, and she just kind of feels weird and left out. She has lots of unrequited crushes and nothing ever comes of it with these boys, and something finally seems to be happening. She's kind of getting up her courage to finally do something about one of her crushes when another boy starts showing interest in her, and of course at first it's kind of like, ew, he's gross, but it develops and it's super cute. And if you like references to Harry Potter and maybe a few other popular things from pretty currently, I would definitely pick this one up. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't too much of a pop culture reference. I really enjoyed it. The romance was really adorable and it's just really diverse and just so much fun. It also has many POC characters and it is just a really fun read. It's really realistic in terms of what these teenagers are able to do, because as I read contemporaries, sometimes it's very unbelievable as to things they can get away with. Next, I have Lauren Barnholt's One Moment in Time. This is just the one that I have on my shelves that I have read. I really love Lauren Barnholt's stories. They're just so quick and easy. It takes me no time at all to read them. These are ones that might not be as believable with some of the partying and drinking and things, but it is still just a getaway, really. Not very realistic, but if that's what you're looking for, this is really great. I believe that this one follows a girl who was really close friends with these 2 other girls in early middle school, late elementary school, I believe, and they decided that senior year they wanted to remind themselves of something. And they each had something, and our main character wanted to do something crazy. And so she gets that reminder her senior year, right before her senior trip to the beach, and so she is just trying to find something to do that is crazy. And of course there's a cute little love story. It's just a lot of fun. Like I said, not at all believable, but it kind of takes you away from the world. So if that is what you were looking for, this one is so much fun. And next I have Audrey Wait by Robin Benway. This one is I've never heard of before in the booktube community. I picked this one up because I was trying to read as much as possible from my school's contemporary romancy section, and this was one of the ones, and I really enjoyed this one. It's a little bit older in terms of like the timing, and about 10 years ago I think was probably when it was published, but this was so much fun. It's all about this girl Audrey, and she was dating this guy who was in a band, and she breaks up with him, or he breaks up with her. They break up. He writes a song about it and the song blows up. It is just so much fun because it's her dealing with his sudden popularity and fame, and of course because the name of the song is Audrey Wait, she gets a lot of fame, and it's her getting wrapped up in all of this, wondering about the whole relationship, and it was just so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I read it over a year ago, and I had to pick up my own copy since I read it through the library, and it was just so much fun. Talked a lot about music and just I know that Daisy Jones and the Six is really popular right now, so if you're looking for more of a rock band contemporary, this one is definitely more young adult. I haven't read Daisy Jones yet, and this does have some interviews, so I would definitely suggest picking this one up because it is just so much fun. And then I have Nick and Norah's Infinite Playlist by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan. I love this book so much. It is just so much fun. It's another one I read through my library, and I had just heard the name. I knew the movie was on Netflix. Do not suggest that at all. The movie was terrible. Very bad. And gross at points. But this story is just so much fun. It's another one that kind of has stuff to do with music, but definitely not as much. It follows these two characters that just have chance meetings, and they just spend one night together in New York City trying to like kind of club hop and find these bands that are kind of underground, and it is just so much fun, all the shenanigans they get into. It's just a really fun one. The main character, Nick, is in a band, which kind of starts off the whole thing, and it's just so much fun. And I love Rachel Cohn and David Levithan as co-authors. I've read almost all of their co-authored books, and not all of them are as great as I thought this one was, but they all have connections. So in this one, somebody writes on a bathroom stall, and it's referred to in other books because people will go to the bathroom to cry or call someone, and they will notice the writing that was left in this book. They all kind of connect a little bit, and it's just so much fun. I just highly suggest it. It's really short, and it was just a fun little adventure book. And next I have Sarah Dessen's Along for the Ride. I recently listened to the audiobook for this one and absolutely loved it. This one is all about our main character, who her parents got divorced in her childhood, and she's kind of tired of the normal everyday summer, and so she decides to spend the summer living with her dad and his new wife and their newborn baby instead of with her mom. And it's just so much fun, but it also is, I like Sarah Dessen's books, and I liked this one the most recently because they always talk about something that's a little more deeper, something else is going on. So in this one, it's talking about how her parents are divorced, and then her dad and his new wife and their newborn baby, and how that changes that part of her family's dynamic, and just kind of handling all of the stress and the repercussions of being a kid who is from a divorced family. And it was just a lot of fun. It talks a lot about just healing, and I really enjoyed it. It was a very fantastic read. This book is one that I have talked about with one of you guys in the comments because you mentioned it, and I was gonna put it on this list anyways, but that is An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. It is just one of my favorites. What originally drew me to it was that there is a little graph, and there are footnotes throughout, and a lot of them have math and like little graphs, and I am a little bit of a math nerd, so I don't know if you can see it, but right there, I just really liked that, and I was like, ooh, I need to pick this one up. It was during my John Green phase when I was reading every single one of his books, but I absolutely loved this one. It was so much fun. It was one of the very first books I annotated. I underlined things that I thought were funny. So one I noticed already was one of the characters mentioned that he wanted to exclusively go by Daddy. I just thought that was really funny. I had a lot of fun. There's one chapter that just opens up in a grave, like cemetery. Hilarious. One of my favorite things ever. I really love the book. It's just a lighthearted, fun. The main character has dated 19 Katherines, all spelled the same exact way, and he refers to each of them as Catherine. The whatever number accompanies that Catherine, and I believe this is right after Catherine the 19th breaks up with him, and he and his friend are kind of like those not very productive guys, and they decide to go on a road trip, and they happen to stop in this little podunk town, and they just get into some fun shenanigans, and he is kind of grappling with having feelings for someone whose name is not Catherine, and it's just so fun, and he's a like brain genius child, and it's just so much fun. I absolutely loved it. Highly suggest. It's just a lot of fun. And then next I have The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Elias-Sanz. I know everyone talks about Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe, I think. And I have not read that one yet, but it is on my list for sure, especially after reading this one. This one follows our main character who he was adopted by his gay dad, and he is just kind of living his life worried about it, and he is really close to his adopted family, and he's been with that family for as long as he could remember, and it is just so wonderful. It's really mainly talking about him and his two best friends. It doesn't really have any sort of big romance in it, and it is just so much fun kind of grappling with him being adopted and how he feels about being part of this big family, and how big families kind of go when there's some grief, as well as how things go when your parents start dating. And that just it was just so fabulous, and there was so much commentary that I just absolutely loved. I loved the writing style. I listened to the audiobook for this one, but I kind of want to pick up Aristotle and Dante in physical form just so I can just read the beautiful writing style. It was just so amazing. And then lastly, I have You Are Here by Jennifer E. Smith. This one is so much fun. I love Jennifer E. Smith's books because I got to meet her in middle school, and it's just always been really fun for me to read her books, even some backlist books. I think this one is a backlist. This one I'm pretty sure I read in 2 days, maybe. I loved it. I thought it was just going to be a light, fluffy contemporary, and I bawled my eyes out for like the last 10 minutes of reading it. It is about a girl who's kind of fed up with being unnoticed in her family. She's the youngest by a lot of her many siblings, I'm not sure how many, and she decides to run away, and she takes off in her car or a family member's car and then gets stuck. So she calls a family friend who's kind of always been there, but they aren't really close friends, and he comes to rescue her and continue the journey. It is just so much fun. It follows each of their stories, vastly different. I believe that the family friend that comes, he is her age, and he lives in a single parent home and kind of struggles a little bit with that, and it talks about the single parent home as well as the really big family, and just taking things for granted and finding out new things and secrets about your family. And it was just so much fun. I absolutely loved it. It was so heartwarming, and the male main character is a little bit of a history nerd, which is just kind of fun to read about. Those are my 8 contemporary recommendations for you guys. If you have enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other recommendation videos you want me to do, or any sort of videos. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!